I don't understand the concept of one-time wear, proms, graduations, weddings, that kind of stuff. I do understand the desire of wanting to look extra special on a special day, but why does it have to be a shiny polyester dress that you only wear once? That's the part that I just don't understand. I guess that's the main reason why I've never worn a fancy dress, the dress. Never had one. And I had plenty of chances, all sorts of graduation ceremonies, and even my own wedding. I don't know how to explain it. It's just every single time I couldn't get my head around it. Why would I get something to wear only once? Why does it have to be a one-time thing? And earlier this year, I had a kind of official event to attend, and it was the chance for me to wear the dress. I didn't have to wear, a fancy dress, and I could have easily skipped on this opportunity to, I genuinely don't care about a day. It's just a day. No matter how special it is, it's just one day out of many, and the bigger picture to me is always a lot more important. But I thought that it was finally the time for me to have this experience of wearing the dress. And the big challenge for me was, could I design something that looks extra special, like an event dress, not an everyday dress, but then somehow to dress it down into an everyday dress. That was the concept. Because I wanted the dress experience, not just a nice looking everyday dress. I wanted the dress experience. But at the same time, keeping in mind that after event, it would be easy to transform it into an everyday dress. And of course, there was a time limit attached to that. I had 1 month to figure out what dress I would actually love to wear, and this was the most difficult part because I had no idea where to even begin. Then to design it and to make it. In today's video, I'll take you on a tour inside my head so you can see for yourself how my design process works. And if you're new here, my name is Lisa Bennett. I'm co-founder of Studio Arkdefo, designer and educator. And my biggest passion and mission in life is helping women feeling great in their bodies with the clothes that make them feel good. I want you to understand the full process of clothes making inside out. I want you to understand the why and the how instead of just following a ready pattern that most likely wouldn't fit you anyway. And today I'll walk you through my creative process from coming up with an idea to a finished garment. Challenge number 1, getting a general idea of a dress that I would love to wear. When I feel lost, I usually turn to Pinterest. I'm scrolling for inspiration, for ideas. I already have a board called Fancy Dresses, and I kept adding beautiful designs in there, thinking that maybe one day, well, here we are. One important thing, when I'm looking for ideas, I don't limit myself. I'm on a figuring stuff out journey. I don't have to decide on anything right now. I'm just looking to see what feels right, even if it's ridiculous, no judgment. And in a matter of a couple of scrolls, I found what I was looking for. Carolina Herrera's maxi shirt dresses are the style that would definitely work for me. And just after a few moments, the puzzle starts putting itself together. A dress like this combines a lot of my favorite elements, and this fit and flare shape is perfect for my pair body. Dresses like this are very simple and too much at the same time. That's exactly what I love about it. It's long and flouncy, and that's exactly what I need for my late debut of a pretty dress. But it's also comfortable because it has buttons on the front, not the zip on the back, and of course it's going to have pockets. I say this all the time. Clothes to me is first of all about comfort. Always. There are no exceptions. And it has a collar. So basically it's a shirt, just prettier. I love shirts, and a shirt dress to me personally is like a self-portrait in the form of a dress. And with this dress design, I can easily have my the dress moment with this extra maxi flouncy skirt, and then I can just make it shorter and turn it into an everyday garment, which is easily done with the right fabric choice. So challenge number 2, picking the fabric. I love setting challenges to myself, so in this case I was committed to finding something from my stash. I have accumulated quite a few fabrics because for the last few years, alongside our fashion design school, we've been running a dead stock fabric shop, and needless to say, a few cuts fell into my private collection, and I really wanted to find something from what I already have. If I realized that I didn't have anything that would definitely work for me, I would at least get a better idea of what I would like to get. But starting with what I have is always a good plan. And there were a few more challenges and musts for the fabric. First, there was a high chance that I would be on my period during the event, and the fabric had to be dark. I am not taking risks like that. Second, it had to be sweat forgiving. This is something that I used to be very embarrassed about. Since I was a teenager, I've been sweating more than most people. And if I'm in any way stressed or nervous or in an environment that I don't particularly enjoy, I'm sweating even more. And since I can't change this about myself, I learned to live with it. I learned to work around it. I know exactly what works and doesn't work for me. And over the years, I just developed a habit of always analyzing the fabric. How would it work around my armpits? And third condition, I had to have at least 4 or 5 meters to allow for the volume and the length of the skirt. The first obvious thought, black fabric. Ticks all the boxes, but I didn't want a black dress. Then I looked at this gray woolen suiting fabric, but it's a little bit too light, and in general, it's just not it. And then I found this. This is the most gorgeous bottle green woven checkerboard cotton in the most perfect weight. Not too light, not too heavy. We've got one cut of this fabric only one time. It was a bit damaged, but definitely a workable, aroundable situation. It was love on the first sight for sure. And I had this fabric sitting waiting for the idea for almost 2 years. And when I found it, I knew that this was the moment for the fabric for the dress. I roughly measured it right away and it was about 5-6 meters. Perfect. And now the fun part, time to create. First step, design a pattern. I usually make shirts with at least 20 centimeters ease. I don't like tightly fitted stuff. Before I even start designing the pattern, I already think how I'm gonna wear the dress. And I know that I will wear it always with a belt or a tie of some sort, which will take all that extra ease, all that extra fabric. It will gather it and will create beautiful volume on top. And this is exactly what I'm looking for. And every pattern design for every single top garment starts with these blocks. These are my personal made-to-measure bodice blocks. Very simply put, these are my measurements and my posture and all my body's imperfections in a 2D form. And this is not the pattern yet, but I'm using these blocks to design my patterns. And I have different blocks for different ease. You make them once and then you can design any pattern in a matter of minutes. And because these blocks are based on my measurements and my preferred fit, every single garment always fits me and it fits the way I want it to fit. And this is exactly what we're teaching in our clothes making courses. Designed for your body type, your measurements, your posture, your individual imperfections, instead of trying to fit into a ready pattern that was never designed to fit you. And I'll show you how to design the pattern with these mini models. They're 60% scale and they're much easier to film. To design these blocks in scale, I just took my measurements, multiplied them by 0.6 and designed new blocks, which are proportionally exactly the same as my actual blocks. And there is no secret why they're 60%. I just quite like the size. They're quite comfortable to work with, not too big, not too small, and definitely really easy to film. I'll start with the back. First, I just copied the bodice block as it is. Next, I want to make the shoulders a little bit longer. I'm looking for a more relaxed fit. I'll do that and also eliminate the shoulder dart. I don't need it with a looser fit. I'll keep the waist dart but make it half the size. This dress is a great example of this semi-relaxed, semi-tailored fit situation I was talking about in the video about darts. It will appear now in the top right corner. Make sure you watch it later. And then I draw a nice curve from the top tip of the dart towards the armhole. And now I have 2 details for the back. Next step is adding the skirt. Super simple. I extend the length of each detail on a separate paper. For this side pattern, I cut this rectangular shape into 3 pieces, spread them, tape them, done. And in case of the center detail, I only cut skirt part in 2 to keep the straight line along the center back. This detail will be cut on the fold. And then I transfer both to the new paper. Back pattern is done. And now to the front. Here I'll first move the dart from the shoulder to the armhole. There is no special secret reason for that beyond the fact that I love how it looks visually. Then right away I remember to extend the shoulder and make sure that it matches the back one. I also reduce the size of the darts and draw a lovely curve for another princess line. The main difference with the back here is that in the front I will have 2 central panels because they're going to have button stands. And then I repeat the same thing with a flared skirt for each detail. One thing to keep in mind, make sure that the button stand is on the straight line. That's it. Copy to the new paper. Done. Now to the sleeve. I use this adjusted block for my relaxed fit shirts. I've dropped down the cap for more comfort by manipulating the top of it this way. And I also made it a little bit wider. This creates a very comfortable sleeve and I can easily lift and move my arms. And the last part is a simple, straightforward cuff and a very simple straight band collar. Measure the neckline before the button stand, draw the collar. And very simple inseam pockets, of course. I know you ask the question, why designing with those panels that take so much fabric instead of just adding a circular skirt? I just don't like waist seams. I don't like how they look and I don't like how they feel, especially when I have such a massive skirt. These panels, they spread the weight of the fabric more evenly. There is no one heavy skirt attached to the bodice. The weight is spread evenly and the dress is much more pleasant to wear. And the rest is just cutting the fabric and sewing the pieces together. That's the most boring part for me. What's the order? Stitch all the back and front panels. Connect shoulder seams. Do the button stand and the collar. Sew the sleeve slit, attach the sleeves. And yes, in case of such a relaxed fit sleeve, I attach it while the side seams are still open. And then I add the pockets and stitch the side seams. Finish off the hem, add the cuffs to the sleeves, buttonholes and buttons, make the tie and done. I didn't rush with this dress. I took all the time I needed and I still finished it very quickly. It was completely done in 3 days from the pattern to the final button. And it turned out exactly how I imagined it would. It was perfect. And I wore it for the day and overall I felt very special and I did have my the dress moment, but I did not imagine that this length would be so uncomfortable. I designed the length for a very particular pair of shoes. It has a bit of a platform and then it elevates, but without the shoes the dress is basically sitting on the floor. But even with the platform loafers, it was still way too long. I kept forgetting to lift it up when going up the stairs and nearly fell too many times, way more than I would love to admit. Well, I always wanted to have an experience of wearing this extra long dress. Can take a box for that, but I don't think I would do that again. So, and here comes the plan of turning this extra into an everyday. I mark 30 centimeters off the hemline and then go straight to the overlocker. Saves me time on cutting. Finish the hem, give it another good iron, and I'm done. Much better. It's a shame that I kept postponing this video for so long and didn't have a chance to wear it more in summer. And one more thing, I want to show you how it looks without the belt. Here, it looks wrong because it's kind of neither loose nor fitted. It looks like it's the wrong size, and with the sleeves down it's a complete disaster. My vision for this dress was always with rolled up sleeves. Why not make a 3/4 sleeve instead? Good question. I want to remind you two things. First, we live in the UK, and second, comfort is everything to me. In the event of me wearing this for a nice, beautiful, sunny day that suddenly turns cold, at least I have an option to roll down my sleeves and put a jumper on top. Plus, I do love the look of the rolled up sleeve. It's not as intentional as 3/4, and it just adds to this. I may be a little bit more glamorous, but I'm still very much relaxed and comfortable look. I design and make clothes for me. You might like it or love it or even hate it, and it's totally cool. When I'm showing you what I'm making for me, I'm just showing you my process, maybe something that you could pick up and use in your routine. When I'm teaching you how to make clothes, I'm not teaching how to make what I wear. You are learning how to design and make what you would love to wear, and that's the beauty of pattern drafting. You don't have to follow one template. You can actually decide what you want to design. I hope you enjoyed watching this little tour into my head and following my creative process. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this dress design or any of our courses. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate your support.